Hello student, welcome back. We are going to start today's session. It is lecture 2, module 3, microcontroller and embedded system. Shongita Roy, assistant professor, electronics and communication engineering department, Narula Institute of Technology. 8051 assembly language programming tools. It is under module 3. In the previous class, we have studied 8051 microcontroller instruction set addressing modes along with assembly language programming structure of 8051 assembly language examples, etc. And it is a continuation of this previous class. So in the previous class, we have studied what is programming language, machine level language, assembly level language, high level language. Structure of the 8051 microcontroller assembly language, level, instruction, commands, and what are the activities of these fields, and few examples how it operates. Assembly language directives, so it is today's session, lecture 2, DW define word. The define word DW directive is used to include a 16-bit data in a program. The functionality of DW is similar to that of DB except that DW generates 16-bit values. EQU, equate. Using the EQU directives, you can associate a symbol or label with a value. Example, TMP EQ hash 30. Assign the value hash 30 to the name TMP. RED underscore LED EQU P1.0. Therefore, port 1.0 is defined as red LED. End. The end directive is used to stop the assembling process. This should be the last statement in the program. End directive cannot have a level and the statement beyond end will not be proceeded by the assembler. Example. ORG000H move A, 20H move R0, hash 30 end. So end here is the last line and after that nothing will be processed. Example of 8051 microcontroller assembly language programming. Example 1. The following is an example assembly language for 8051 microcontroller which copies the data from R0 of bank 0 to R0 of bank 3. ORG00H move R0 hash 33H move A, R0 ACTB PSW.3 ACTB PSW.4 move R0A end. In the next example, you can toggle the LEDs on and off blinking LEDs that are connected to port 1 of 8051 microcontroller. ORG00H assembly start from 000H. This is the main program. Start, it is a label, start is the label, then move P1, hash 0xFF. That is to move 11111111 to port 1. Then call wait. It is a call starting. Move A, P1. Move P1 value to accumulator. CPLA, complement accumulator. Move P1, M. Move accumulator content to P1. Call wait. SJMP start. Jump to start. Wait. Move R2 #10. Load register R2 with 10. Then wait 1. Move R3, #200. Load register R3 with 10, that is to 0 into C8. Wait 2. Move R4 #200. Load register R4 with 0 into C8. DJNZ R4 $, it indicates decrement R4 till it is 0. Stay there if not 0. DJNZ R3 wait 2, decrement R3 until it is 0. Jump to wait 2 if not 0. DJNZ R2 wait 1, decrement R2 till it is 0. Jump to wait 2 if not 0. Then return to the main program, then end of program. So this is a structure how the program can be written, and detail of each meaning will be studied later, but this is a structure how jump, call is a subroutine program. It will be discussed more in detail, but here it is the introduction. So just try to understand, and we will be detailed study afterwards. In the sequence of instructions to be executed, it is often necessary to transfer program control to a different location. There are many instructions in the 8051 to achieve this goal. This chapter covers the control transfer instruction available in 8051 assembly language. Upon completion of this chapter, you will be able to learn the program 8051 assembly language instruction using loops, program 8051 assembly language conditioning jumps instructions, explain condition that determine each conditional jump instruction, program long jump instruction for unconditional jumps, program short jump instruction for unconditional short jumps, calculate the target addresses for jump instructions, program 8051 subroutines, describe precautions in using the stack in subroutines, discuss crystal frequency versus machine cycle, code 8051 program to generate a time delay. Section 1. Jump and loop instructions. The various types of control transfer instruction in assembly language include conditional and unconditional jump call instructions. The flow of a program will be proceeded sequentially from instruction to instruction unless a control transfer instruction is executed. The looping action will be performed using an instruction DJNZ, which decrements a counter and jump to the loop if the value counter is not 0. Jump conditionally instructions based on the value of the carry flag, the accumulator or bits of the IO port. Unconditional jumps can be long or short depending upon the relative value of the target addresses. What is looping in the 8051 assembly language programming? Loop is defined as repeating a sequence of instruction a certain number of times. The loop is one of the most widely used action that any microprocessor performs. In 8051, DJNZ register level perform the loop action. In DJNZ register level instruction, the register is decremented if it is not 0 and jumps to the target address referred by the label. The register is loaded with counter of the number of repetition prior to the start of the loop. If DJNZ register level instruction, the register is decremented and the decision to jump are combined into a single instruction. Example 1. Let's write a clear accumulator A, then add 5 to the accumulator 20 times. Now the program indicates the first is comment line. This program add values 3 to the accumulator 20 times. Move A hash 0. Accumulator equal to 0, that indicates accumulator is cleared. Then move R2 hash 20. Load counter R2 is equal to 20. Again add A. Again it is as level. Then add A hash 05. Add 05 to accumulator. DJNZ R2 again. Repeat until R2 equal to 0. Therefore, until it is 0, it will count 20 times. Then move R5, A. Then the accumulator value is saved to R5. Therefore, what it indicates is it adding 5 with 5 with 5 20 times. After that, the final value of accumulator will be stored in the register 5. Therefore, 5 into 20 is equal to 100 will be in R5 after execution of this program. The R2 register is used as a counter. The counter R2 is first set to 20. In each iteration, the instruction DJNZ decrements R2 and checks its value. If R2 is 0, it jumps to the target addresses associated with the level again. This looping action continues until R2 becomes 0. After R2 becomes 0, it falls through the loop and executes the instructions immediately below it. In this case, move R5 is equal to A. In the DJNZ instruction that the register can be any of the R0 to R7, the counter can also be a RAM location. What is the maximum number of times a loop can repeated in example 1? In the example 1, the R2 holds the count and the R2 is the 8-bit register. It can hold maximum FFH, that is to 255 decimal. The loop can be repeated a maximum of 256 times. Example 2. Let's write a program to load the accumulator with the value 66H and complement the accumulator ACC 600 times. 700 is larger than 255, the maximum capacity of any register. We can use 2 registers to hold the count. We are using R2 and R3 for this count. Move A, 66H. Therefore, accumulator is 66H. Move R3 hash 10, that is to R3 is equal to 10, the outer loop. Next, move R2 is equal to 60. R2 is equal to 60 is the inner loop. Again, CPLA, complement register A. DJNZ R2 again, repeat inner loop 60 times. Then DJNZ R3 next. Then repeat the outer loop 10 times. So 10 into 60 into 600 times CPL run. Move A 66H, accumulator is 66H, move R3 10, R3 is equal to 10, then R2 is equal to 60, then complement DJNZ again. R2 is keep here the inner loop count in the instruction DJNZ R2 again. Whenever R2 becomes 0, it falls through the DJNZ R3 next is executed. This instruction forces the CPU to load R2 with the count 60 and the inner loop starts again. This process will continue until R3 becomes 0 and the outer loop is finished. Now 8051 conditional jump instruction. JZ jump if accumulator equal to 0. JNZ if accumulator is not equal to 0. DJNZ decrement and jump if accumulator A is not equal to 0. CJNZ A, byte. Compare and jump if accumulator A is not equal to byte. CJNE register hash data. Compare and jump if accumulator A is not equal to hash data. JC jump if carry flag CY equal to 1. JNC jump if carry flag CY equal to 0. JB jump if bit is set, that is to bit equal to 1. JNB jump if bit is not set, that is to bit equal to 0. JBC jump if bit is set and clear bit, that is to bit equal to 1 and clear BI. Example 3. Move A, RO. A is equal to RO, JZ over jump if accumulator equal to 0. Move A, R1 indicates A equal to R1, JZ over jump if accumulator equal to 0. Then over, it is a comment level it is. Either R0 or R1 is 0 if jump to the level over the ZZ instruction can used only for register accumulator A. It can used only check to see whether the accumulator is 0. It does not apply to any other register. Example 4. Let's write a program in which if R4 register contains the value 0, then put 55H in R4 register. Move A, R4, copy the value of R4 to the accumulator JNZ next, jump if accumulator is not 0, move R4 hash 55H, put the value of 55H in the register R4 next. JNC jump if no carry, that is to jump if carry flag equal to 0. The JNC instruction, the carry flag bit in the flag PSW register is used to make the decision whether to jump or not. In executing JNC level, the processor looks the carry flag to see if it is raised carry flag CY equal to 0. If it is not, the CPU starts to fetch and execute instruction from the address of the level. If the carry flag is equal to 1, it will not jump but it will execute the next instruction below JNC. JC jump if carry, therefore carry flag equal to 1. JC instruction if carry equal to 1, it jumps to the targeted address. JB jump if bit is high. JNB jump if bit is low. This bit manipulation instruction will be discussed later in detail. Example 5. Let's find the sum of values of 78H, F4H and EIH. Put the sum in register R0 lower byte and R5 in the higher byte. Move A hash 0, clear the accumulator A equal to 0. Move R5A, clear R5, then add A hash 78H. Therefore A is equal to 0 plus 78H, that is to 78H. JNC here 1. If no carry, add next number. INC R5, if carry equal to 1, increment R5. Here ADDA hash 0F4H. Therefore accumulator content now it will be 78H plus F4, that is to 6C, and carry equal to 1 as there is no carry. Carry is equal to 1 as 78H plus F4H is equal to 16C. Therefore carry is 1. JNC here to jump if carry CY equal to 0. But here carry is equal to 1, then R5 is incremented, therefore R5 equal to 1. Then it is add A is equal to 0 E1H, therefore 6C plus E1, that is to 4D, and carry is equal to previous carry is equal to 1. So total value is 1 4D. JNC jump if carry equal to 0. But that is carry equal to 1, therefore R5 will be incremented, therefore over move R4 is equal to A. Therefore accumulator content will be moved to R0, and finally it is coming to end, and R5 is equal to 1. All conditional jump are short jump. All conditional jumps are short jump, as in that the address of the target must be within minus 128 to minus 127 bytes of the contents of the program counter PC. Unconditional jump instructions. The unconditional jump is a jump in which control is transferred unconditionally to the target location. There are two unconditional jumps in 8051, L jump and S jump. L jump, long jump, S jump, short jump. Long jump, L jump. L jump or long jump is an unconditional long jump. L jump is a 3-byte instruction in which the first byte is the opcode and the second and the third bytes represents the 16-bit address of the target location. The 2-byte target addresses allows a jump to any memory location from 000 to FFFH. The program counter PC is a 16-bit in the 8051, giving a ROM address space of 64 KB. Not all family members of 8051 have this much on-chip program ROM. The original 8051 had only 4 KB of on-chip ROM for program space. For this reason, there is also a short jump SJMP instruction, which is a 2-byte instruction as opposed to the 3-byte instruction, which is long jump LJMP. Using short jump SJMP saves some bytes of memory in many applications where memory space in short supply. Short jump SJMP. Short jump is a 2-byte instruction. The first byte is the opcode and the second byte is the relative address of the target location. The relative address range of 00 to FFH is divided into forward and backward jumps. Memory relative to the address of the program counter is written minus 128 to plus 128 bytes. The target address is written 127 bytes from the current program counter. If the jump is forward, the target address is within minus 128 bytes from the program counter if the jump is backward. Short jump address calculations. All conditional jumps such as JNZ, JZ, DJNZ are short jumps. They are called 2-byte instructions. In these instructions, the first byte is the opcode and the second byte is the relative address. The target address is relative to the value of the program counter. To calculate the target address, the second byte is added to the program counter of the instruction immediately below the jump. Example 6. Let's verify the jump forward address calculation. So this is the line in the first column. The second column is program counter. Then the next column is opcode. Then the mnemonics. ORG 0000. Program counter 0. Move R0 #01. Opcode is equal to 7800. Program counter 0. Then move A #668 7455. Corresponding program counter 2. JZ next 6003. Corresponding program counter 4. INC R1 opcode is 8. Program counter is 6. Again INCA program counter 7. opcode is 4. Next add A 70 hash 77H, opcode is 2477 and program counter 9. JNC over, opcode is 5005, program counter 000B. Then CLRA, opcode E4, program counter 000D. Move R3A, corresponding F8, program counter 00D. Then move R3A, F8, comma E. Move R2A, F9, 000F. Move R1A, FA, 10. Move R0A, FB11 over ADDA, R3, 2B, 12. JNC again 50F2, 13. SJMP here 080FE and corresponding program counter 15. Then end, no opcode, it is only the last line. Then program counter value is 17. The target address for a forward jump is calculated by adding the program counter TC of the following instruction to the second byte of the short jump instruction, which is called the relative address. JZ and JNC instruction both jump forward. In line 04, the instruction JZ next has opcode of 60 and operand of 03, and the program counter address is 0004 and 0005. The 03 is the relative address, and relative to the address of the next instruction INC R0 at the program counter address of 0006. By adding 0006 to 03, the target address, so the level next 0009 is generated, where the jump will take place at next. Add A hash 77H. In the same way, at line 09, the JNC over instruction has opcode, and operand is 50 and 05, where 50 is the opcode, 05 is the relative address. So 05 is the added to 000D, the address if the instruction CLRA resulting in 0012, and the address of the level over of mnemonic operand over add A R3. So backward jump verification in example hash 66. JNC again has opcode 50 and relative address F2H. This relative address F2H is added to the program counter address 0015 and 15H. The address of the instruction below is jump resulting 15H and F2H 107. After dropping the carry, it is only 07. 0007 is the program counter address of again INCA mnemonic operand. In the same way, SJMP here, which has 80 and FE for the opcode and relative address. The program counter of the following instruction 00178 is added to FEH. The relative address go to 0015H. The address of here level 17H and FEH is equal to 15H. FEH is -2 and 17H plus -2 is equal to 15H. Backward jump target address calculation. The displacement move value is positive number in the case of forward jump, that is to between 0 to 127, 0027F in hex. The displacement value is negative in the case of backward jump, that is to 0 to -128. The short jump SJMP is forward or backward. The address of the target address can never be more than -128 to +127 bytes from the address associated with the instruction below the SJMP. The assembler will generate an error of out of range if any attempt is made to violate the rule. So today is up to this. We are concluding. In the next session we will complete. So for today's same, this is the references, and this is thank you. We are concluding today's session.